Hi Virgo, welcome to your love reading for June 2018. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. You did have more than 30,000 views for May, so you are getting a slightly longer reading for June. We're going to do the main spread with the confirmation deck, and then we will move on to the partner reading. And you did have a jumping card when I was properly shuffling. The card that jumped for you is the World. So this is a major arcana that does represent endings. Now for some of you, you can be moving on from a relationship. You could be going through an ending, but the World is also a really positive card of endings and new beginnings, a new cycle. So we're going to put it back. That was just a jumping card. Let's go ahead and pull 9 cards. This is a love reading for the sign of Virgo for June 2018. You have the Two of Wands, love reading for the sign of Virgo. The Tower, love reading for the sign of Virgo for June 2018. The Hermit, love reading for the sign of Virgo. The Seven of Wands, love reading for the sign of Virgo for June. Ten of Swords, love reading for the sign of Virgo. The Emperor, love reading for the sign of Virgo for June. Wheel of Fortune, love reading for the sign of Virgo. Six of Coins, love reading for the sign of Virgo. Seven of Swords. What's the most important message that Virgo needs to hear for June 2018? 10 of Coins. So this is a card of marriage, children, and stability. So either this is your marriage that you're currently in, overcoming any obstacles, or for some of you, you could be meeting a partner that could lead to marriage. We'll come back to this card to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's focus on the first 3 cards. So you have the Two of Wands, the Tower, and the Hermit. 2 major arcanas here, representing some type of explosive change. I mean, the Tower is something shocking, a shocking turn of events, which is kind of interesting because there's something happening here that is big, again, explosive, with kind of more kind of bland energy is the best word I can come up with around it. And I feel like, you have been waiting. You have the Two of Wands here. This is not a card of action. In fact, it means that pretty much nothing is happening. The Two of Wands means that there's a delay and you've been waiting. The Hermit is kind of the same energy. The Hermit means that there's really not been a lot going on because somebody has been doing a lot of thinking. Someone's been trying to figure things out, and I feel like if they have been doing that, bang, suddenly there is like a flash of insight, or finally somebody's ready to take action. I mean, these 3 cards in itself mean that there's something happening for you in June where you either have been waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen, and boy does it happen with the Tower. And it could either be that you've been waiting on someone else and they're finally coming around, and this just completely takes you by surprise with the Tower. Or it could be that you have been trying to figure things out with the Hermit. I mean, this is a major arcana where you need some space and you need to figure something out, and only you can do it. Only the person can do it. This is trying to figure out the truth, trying to see like what is the right action, or what should I do. I feel like if you have been waiting, again, someone has been waiting, there's finally some action that is being taken with the Tower being here. And this is a major arcana. Again, this is something very shocking, or it could be something that changes suddenly, quickly, like overnight. Like you may have been estranged from a partner, you may have broken up, somebody could have filed for divorce. You've been waiting, maybe expecting the worst here with the Two of Wands and the Hermit. There's something shocking happening around you. There is some type of change that happens very, very like unexpectedly, when there had really pretty much been nothing going on. It comes out of nowhere. Now, in the second row here, you've got the Seven of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Emperor. So, I mean, you've got this message here from the Ten of Swords, which usually means that you've been down. You've been down, and maybe because you've been betrayed, you've been hurt. And with this energy, you don't really understand that it's time to get up, dust yourself off, and move on. You know, and I feel like, you know, there's a need for someone to point this out to you. You have the Seven of Wands, which this is a confrontational energy. But I mean, based on seeing the Seven of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Emperor, I feel like it's you. It's time to stand up to your own fears about love. This could be a slightly different message from up here. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going with it. This is just a loud message that, hey, it's time. It's time. Move on already. Move on. And it could be, you know, moving on from someone that left your life. Remember, you did have the World. It jumped for you at the beginning of the reading. It could be that it's time to move on from someone that broke your heart. But it could also be that it's time to move on from some type of pain that you're going through. Maybe a betrayal. Maybe somebody let you down. You are down in some way with this card, but it's time to move on. And with the Seven of Wands, it's time to confront your own fears. Like, why am I holding myself back? Why is it that, you know, I'm not moving on with my love life the way that I should? Why is it that I can't trust anyone? With the Seven of Wands, there's a need to be brave and just kind of confront your own ego. The Emperor is confirming that this probably has something to do with you, because the Emperor, this does have to do with taking control, taking charge. And it seems like you're having to take control so that you can move on. It's time, because I mean, up here, just going back to the first row, there had been nothing going on. Maybe there's nothing going on right now, but it's time for a kind of shocking turn of events. It could be time for you to have this. I mean, this was the main energy, the Ten of Coins. It could be time for marriage, for happiness, for children, for stability, but not if you're still down. Not if you're still convinced that everything is doom and gloom, or maybe you're not ready to forgive someone. The Emperor is saying, do yourself a favor and take control of what's happening in your love life. Now, for some of you, it can be, you know, that somebody cheated on you, somebody lied to you, and that you have to confront this person. Maybe you haven't confronted them yet. It's time for you to take charge with the Emperor. This is, you know, being firm with them. This is you taking back your power. Maybe you've given someone too much power to where now all you do is pretty much just kind of dwell on your unhappiness, on what happened in the past, the betrayal. It's time for you to stand up to this person. It's time for you to take your power back with the Emperor. This is just a loud message that nothing's going to happen unless you make it happen. You've got to take control of what's happening in your love life right now. You've got to take back your power. Down here, there's a little bit of the same. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is telling you that it's time for things to change in your love life. It's a major arcana, and it means that this can be a very lucky time for you in June, if you want it to be. Because, I mean, you have the Emperor telling you that it's actually totally up to you. The Wheel of Fortune is telling you that this can be a really lucky time for you where things can change for the better. Not only that, you have the energy of the Six of Coins, which means that you can get everything that you deserve. This is you receiving love. This is you receiving affection, everything that you deserve, everything that you want. But you have the Seven of Swords. And I feel very strongly that this has more to do with you than with someone else. Although I will go over that in a minute. With the Seven of Swords, you can be your own worst enemy. This is an energy of sticking your head in the sand and denying that there's anything wrong. So it could be that there's something going on in a relationship or in a marriage, possibly a betrayal. Maybe you're making excuses for the person when it's really time to confront and take your power back. But I mean, there's just the energy here of like, it's time for you to receive, to have love. It's time for things to change. But with this card, you're being your own worst enemy. And you're in denial about something. Now, it can be that, you know, it's time for you to be happy. And maybe there's, you know, if you're with someone that you know, maybe you feel like they're not the best partner for you. Maybe they keep cheating on you or they keep lying to you. It could be that you could be your own worst enemy by sticking around and staying with this person. Remember, it's time to take your power back. And if this keeps happening over and over, this, you know, betrayal, it's time for you to stand up to this person, because the wheels here are telling you it's time for things to change for you. And the main energy is telling you that right now there could be a person around you, an energy where you know, it's time for happiness, it's time for marriage, it's time for stability, but not if you're sticking around somewhere where there is no future. Okay, so let's get a few more cards for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for June? Five of Swords. This is reminding me a lot of the reading that I did for the sign of Leo. So if you have a Leo moon or rising, or your partner is a Leo, you may want to watch that. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for June? Ace of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for June? Three of Cups. Okay, so let's take a look at just these three cards here. So you have these beautiful energies of new beginnings. Let me just start here. Start with the good news. There's this energy of like a new beginning or new love coming in for you, or rekindling a relationship. Maybe a relationship where there had been a lot of problems. You do have the energy of rekindling this, of fixing this, of a new beginning. And I see a lot of happiness around this. You have the Three of Cups. You're celebrating some type of good news or some type of good fortune. I mean, you literally have the Wheel of Fortune here. Good fortune. This is a very lucky time for you. So there is some type of like new beginning, new love. You're celebrating this. This is a card of marriage and happiness. But let's start over here now. The Five of Swords. This all comes down to perhaps decisions. The Five of Swords can sometimes represent unwise decisions. And I mean, seeing the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords in the same reading, I feel like there's something tricky going on in your love life, Virgo. I don't know what it is. Hard to say in a general reading, but I feel like, again, this is sounding a lot like the reading I did for Leo, but there could be something that you don't want to see or something that you're hiding from. The Seven of Swords is being your own worst enemy. And then the Five of Swords could be that you're sabotaging your own love life in some way. It can be, again, it can be that this is actually going on with your partner, especially if you already know what they're doing. This can represent deceit, and this could be, hidden enemies. This is just negative energy. There's really no way to sugarcoat it. It's negative energy. So there can be a decision that you have to make about your love life, or you've got to be careful what decision you make, because with the Five of Swords, this can be a decision that will come back to haunt you. So there could be maybe two partners for you, where you've got to choose wisely. That is the message of the Five of Swords. Choose wisely. If not, you will come back and wish you could just erase everything that happened. You'll wish you could make a different decision. I don't know, I just feel like there's something really complicated going on with Virgo right now. But this is what's being offered to you. There is a new beginning. There's a chance for you to be immensely happy with the Three of Cups. Maybe even, this could be marriage. This could be your life partner. Settling down. Marriage, children, stability was one thing that really stands out. Stability. But you got to be careful what decisions you're making, especially with the Five of Swords in the same reading with the Seven of Swords. It could be that either someone's messing things up, your partner's messing things up, making all the worst possible decisions, or it could be you, especially if maybe you're sticking around somewhere where you don't belong there anymore. Because remember this, there is some type of betrayal here, or need to move on. The need to move on and take your power back and really kind of stand up to your fears, or stand up to a partner. Because there is some type of explosive change that wants to happen for you here at the Tower. Everything could change for you in June. But I feel like this is totally and completely up to you. Okay, let's get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for June? Five of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for June? Two of Swords. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo? King of Cups. What's the most important message that Virgo needs to hear from this deck for June 2018? Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is pretty much repeating everything that I've just said. The Page of Pentacles means there's something for you to learn from your love life in June. Keep your eyes open. There's a lot going on that you need to see. This is looking at your love life very carefully, practically under a microscope, because there's something that you're not seeing. It's kind of like in the energy of the moon. You don't have the moon, but the Page of Pentacles is that same energy. You have a lot to learn about yourself. If you're already partnered, you have a lot to learn about your partner. There's something that you're not seeing here. So that's being repeated by the Two of Swords, you know, and that's again being repeated by the Seven of Swords, or something that you're not seeing. Let's just start over here now. The Five of Cups. So this does represent sadness. This represents tears, and it could be, you know, that you've been through a breakup. You know, I see that there, being hurt. I mean, the Five of Cups means that you feel kind of, you know, there is a sense of disappointment, unhappiness, that something didn't work out. There is unhappiness around a water sign. You have the King of Cups here. This could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. So again, there's disappointment here, but there's also a decision that has to be made. With the Two of Swords, this is, you know, something really difficult. This is what I've been saying over and over. It feels like there's something difficult going on with Virgo, complicated. This is a really complicated decision that has to be made, and until you make it, nobody's going anywhere. This is stuck energy. And I see here that you've got several Swords cards in this reading. You've got the Two of Swords, you've got the Five of Swords, you've got the Ten of Swords, you've got the Seven of Swords. I feel like there's a lot going on in your head. There's a lot going on in your head. There's a lot for you to figure out, but this is really, really complicated. I don't know what Virgo is going through. But I feel like there's something that you've got to see that you don't want to see. This energy here from the Two of Swords is being repeated in the Seven of Swords. And even in the Five of Swords. So just put them all here. I mean, they're all here. Just seeing these three cards, this alone could be a reading for somebody. Where there's either a decision you've got to make, or an action you've got to take. And until you do it, you are stuck. And there's something that you need to see. Again, repeated with these two cards. There's something maybe that you don't want to see. But by doing it, you're not doing yourself any favors. With the Seven of Swords, you're being your own worst enemy. And you could possibly make a decision that you'll wish you could erase later on. This could also represent an empty victory, where you'll get what you thought you wanted and then wish you had pursued something else. I don't know, very, very complicated, but I feel like you have to be careful around decisions. And if there's something that you think you should do, let me just tell you this. If there's something that you think you should do, or you've been putting off something, you should definitely take action. Because there's something, you know, some big change that wants to happen for you. But it's like there's kind of, you know, sleeping energy here. Like there's not much going on. But I feel like this is actually all in your hands. If you make a decision or take some action, that will get you where you want to be. And again, the main energy was a Ten of Coins. Love, happiness, stability. But there's a lot for you to see here, a lot for you to figure out. Okay, so let's move on to the partner reading so that we can see how you and your partner are doing, what you want, what they want. Are you on the same page? I'm going to use different decks, and all the decks that I'm going to be using are going to be on my website, channeledguidance.com. Just go to the updates page and you will see them on there. Let's start off with your energy, Virgo. Let me ask this, because I didn't do this with the other signs. Show me the energy. What does Virgo want in their love life? What is it that they want and what they need? An air sign. What does Virgo want? What does Virgo want in their love life for June? Eight of Coins. What does Virgo want in their love life? Knight of Swords. What does Virgo want in their love life? Seven of Pentacles. Okay, let me get your partner's cards now. What does Virgo's love interest want? Show me the energies around this. Ten of Pentacles. Interesting. What does Virgo's love interest want? Show me the energies around this. Ace of Cups. What does Virgo's love interest want? The Empress. What does Virgo's love interest want? The Wheel. Okay, now I'm going to get a main energy for you and your partner. What does... Show me the main energy around Virgo for June. The Chariot. Show me the main energy around Virgo's love interest for June. Judgment. Okay, so we have all the cards now. Let me focus on you for now, then we'll move on to your partner. So these are your cards. You have the King of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and then the Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. 7 and 8 of Pentacles. So, I mean, you start off with a Court card, which is always interesting. And it's an air sign, so it would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. So this can be your partner, or this can just be the energy that they're in. One of the other signs, I think it was Leo again. I keep bringing up Leo because this is a very similar reading. It's very strange, repeating cards. It could be that this person is very much on your mind, an air sign, or someone in that energy. Now, as far as what you want, let's focus on that. Now, I'm just going to jump to this card right here because this is what's standing out to me. And then look at these two cards. 7 and 8 of Pentacles are right here together. What you want is you want things to change. You have the Knight of Swords. You want to see some action in your love life. You want to see things change dramatically. The Knight of Swords, this is kind of like the Tower energy, which you actually did have in the main spread. And I feel like, you want to, with the Knight of Swords, this is impulsive energy. You want to throw caution to the wind. This is being real. You want to be unpredictable, but usually Virgo is not unpredictable. I know I have a moon in Virgo. You're not unpredictable, depending where your moon or rising sign are. But I feel like you want to I feel like there's something you want to do where you just want to throw caution to the wind, and you want to see things change, and you want them to change quickly. But let me just jump over here. The 7 of Pentacles. Although you want to be impulsive and you want to throw caution to the wind, you're being Virgo and you're doing this. You're doing a lot of thinking. There's a lot of going back and forth. I mean, the 7 of Pentacles is not a card of action. This is a card of really doing a lot of strategizing, if only in your head, and going back and forth. Like, trying to weigh your options. Should I do this or that? I feel like in your love life, you're very confused. And that's what I was getting from the main spread. I kept saying it over and over, and now it's come up over here too with different cards. I feel like you do want to be unpredictable, and you want to see things change quickly, but you can't stop thinking of what should I do? And I feel like you're doing a lot of thinking and planning and going back and forth. And I feel like, there's something you want to build up. You have the 8 of Pentacles, which means there's a lot of work to do. You feel like there's a lot of work to do in your love life. And although you want things to change quickly and you want to just throw caution to the wind, or you just want to take somebody back, or you want to be in a new relationship, this energy keeps you grounded, and it keeps you in this energy where you just keep thinking and planning and strategizing and weighing your options, and this keeps you in the energy of, there's a lot of work to do. And I feel like there's something very much that you want to see. You want to see some changes happen quickly. You have the Chariot, which is the victory card. And, this is telling you that there's an energy of a lot of movement around your love life. It's going to be completely up to you. I mean, if you go back and watch the first part of the main spread, I mean, you had the Tower. It was surrounded by the 2 of Wands and the Hermit. But this is a time of movement for you, with the Chariot being here. It's time for movement in your love life, whether you're married or just dating someone. It's time for movement. Now let's move on to your partner. What do they want? Well, that's pretty crystal clear. 10 of Pentacles, which I think was the main energy. Yeah, it's right here. This was the main energy from the main spread. Same card, but it's on your partner's side. So it seems, like your partner is on board. Your partner wants commitment, wants marriage. This is a card of, marriage and children and stability. They want marriage. They want a new beginning. So maybe, there was a betrayal, because I did see that in the main spread. They do want a new beginning, with the Ace of Cups being here. They do want to rekindle the relationship. They do want to stay in, either with you, or they want to stay married, with the 10 of Pentacles. More importantly, you have the Empress. The Empress. So they want the energy around your partner as far as what they want. They want it all. The Empress represents, love and marriage and abundance. So I feel like your partner, you know, feels that they have found everything with you. I know there's some conflicting messages in the main spread. Again, this is a general reading, hard to tell, but I mean, the Empress is one of the most positive cards of, you know, of having it all. So I feel like your partner wants it all. Look at this, the Wheel. I know you did have the Wheel in the main spread. So your partner also wants to see movement, which you have it here as well with the Chariot. Your partner wants to see movement in your relationship. The Wheel means that, you know, it's time for things to change. And I feel like your partner is open to new beginnings, and they do want stability, or they do want commitment. More importantly, I mean, look at this. The main energy is a Judgment card. They want a second chance. So for those of you that you're watching because maybe your partner has let you down, you did have the 10 of Swords and all sorts of red flags in the first part of the reading with the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. Your partner does want a second chance. The Judgment card is a second chance. A relationship rising from the ashes. So it's all here. I feel like maybe you're fighting yourself as far as like taking them back, or do not take them back, or stay with them. You want to throw caution to the wind, but then, you know, you start thinking about everything you, like, you know, being Virgo, you start analyzing everything to death. But I feel like your partner is definitely, like, you're on the same page. You know, they want what you want, but I feel like there's a lot of conflicting energy over here as far as you. Like, you're having trouble deciding, should I be with them, should I take them back, or not? Okay, Virgo, this has been your love reading for June 2018. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.